us as unmuted. And at coffee break, which back in 2021, Pamela Stewart was urging that we establish. I'm certainly glad that I heeded her, our Zone 3031 areas. This year, we've had pretty much the same experience again, maybe not quite to the same level, but unfortunately through some of the same places. Damon was on a trip to Louisiana, a work trip, and experienced some of this, and he made a video on it. We wanted to include it. We thought it was quite impactful. And so let's give a good listen and look and see what y'all think.
Everyone in Athens at the Rotary Club can see us live here. As I mentioned in the newsletter yesterday, I've been down here in southern Louisiana for quite some time, ever since Ida especially. It's really a truly devastating situation, especially down what I would refer to as ground zero in Grand Isle, which is really on the one of the most southern points of Louisiana. In fact, the Gulf is just further down the street here from where we stand. And I saw the note that came out from our district governor, Mike Groom, about how we're supporting, the region, how we're all coming together as Rotarians. And I thought, gosh, I'm here. I'm right in the middle of it all. I need to reach out to these folks, these fellow Rotarians and people that have been devastated by Ida. So I had an opportunity to meet. You see a few folks behind me, some good people. We'll introduce them here in a few moments. But where I'm standing now is in Grand Isle, and I'm actually just in front of the building where they meet for their weekly Rotary meeting. And you can see it's been pretty much destroyed. The roof of the structure was taken off by the storm. We'll go inside in a few minutes and give everyone a glimpse of what it's like inside. But what I'd like to do is take the opportunity to introduce everyone to some of our fellow Rotarians down here in Grand Isle. And we'll go back around. I apologize. It's a little difficult to see. It's so sunny and bright out today. It's first sunshine I think we've had here for a while. What is this thing in the sky, right? But anyway, let me get a little closer, and let's do some introductions, and you guys can talk about your club and talk about your experience here on Grand Isle.
Paul Frazier, Vice President, Grand Isle Rotary Club.
Carol Allman, member.
Linda Goldman, past president. Now I'm the treasurer.
Bill Watkins, secretary.
Okay.
Paul and Linda are born and raised residents of Grand Isle, and Carol's been here most of his life too.
Since the early
I'm a
70s.
transplant.
So the Grand Isle Rotary Club was generated in 1949. It is one of the oldest clubs in the District 6200, and we've had our ups and downs over the years, whether it be hurricanes or pandemics or whatever, and oil spills, natural disasters, man-made disasters, and we've always managed to come back. A few years ago, we got lucky. We were very fortunate that we had a member that was in the United Methodist Church, and the United Methodist Church of Grand Isle was disbanding. And they were looking for a nonprofit organization to donate their property and their building to. And we fell right into it, and all this property got donated to us about 6 years ago. About 6 years ago, it was donated to us. And it's a lot for us to maintain. But we kept it together with fundraisers and different things, and an annual haunted house for Halloween, just to raise funds to maintain this building. But now, after Ida, I pretty much think it's pretty much out of our control to do anything with it. And as of right now, we have about 70 residents that are staying on Grand Isle. We have no running water and no electricity. So those people need help, and everybody down here is going to need a hand at some point in time. And we would really appreciate whatever y'all could do for us at that time. Like I said, it's still early in the recovery. Even though we're a month into it, this is going to be a marathon. So a lot of people, everybody jumps in at first. And what that does, that just creates too much at one time. So I ask people, let's give it a month. and give it a few more weeks. And then, try to do something, because we will become forgotten. We'll be old news eventually. So that's what I'm just asking, whatever y'all could do in the weeks to come.
Paul, we appreciate all of you guys and what you guys have been going through. And it's amazing just to see. I see someone walking down the street right now behind us with meals that have been provided. I'll kind of give everyone a snapshot just to give you an idea of some of the construction activity. Those houses actually stayed intact quite well, but the other parts of the island, not so much. But I wanted to take the opportunity of some of the things that our district is doing back out of Athens. We've come together to support, the district here, 6200, district 6840, district 6820. Governors Bob Vaughn of 6820 and Mark Lee here in South Louisiana are coming together to help assemble some recovery teams. We also had clubs that are donated to the foundation. There's a Rotary Foundation account that's been established for helping. What I'm doing on the island is helping establish a man camp for people to come and work to help. We've got a trailer that's being set up actually tomorrow for providing meals. And we're doing that mainly for construction housing, but we want to make that available also for any Rotarians that want to come down and be able to help, whether it's hand out meals, or if you have a rake and you want to help pick up debris, there's plenty of that to be done on Grand Isle for quite some time. So why don't we take a few moments, and it's kind of hard to see the screen from outdoors. So why don't we take a few moments and you guys can show us in the club. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and we're going to walk inside the Rotary Club of Grand Isle. You guys everyone can see the debris. The water levels came up several feet. This structure is built on pilings, as you can see. You can see how the roof was completely blown off of the building. Also next door, I wanted to point out they have their spay and neuter program is one of the exciting programs that they started in Grand Isle a number of years ago. That's been also destroyed with water that entered this bus. That's one of the wonderful things that they're doing here in Grand Isle as Rotarians. But as we walk into the structure here, into the building, you can see all the devastation. In this particular part, the roof came off, the ceiling has come down from all the waterfall. You see their Rotary banner that we have. It's kind of hard to see here. It was quite tattered, pretty dirty from the storm, but Rotary Club of Grand Isle. And then over here we see the four-way test, and you guys do some pretty exciting things throughout the year to bring the community together and stuff. You do wild game and seafood cook-off, a bike show. You guys have some pretty good participation with that in the community.
Yeah.
And we also do a haunted house in here.
You do the haunted house in here.
Leading up to Halloween, we have a haunted house.
Sure. Well, I guess that may have changed for this year,
and
huh?
then Halloween night, we do serve candy, and we also cook and serve jambalaya.
Okay. Outstanding. But you can see the devastation here. If I could show everyone the entire island, I'll come back and report on that. But it's really and it's not just Grand Isle. It's all the surrounding areas, parishes of southern Louisiana, going into Mississippi, and all the districts that have really been impacted. And this really just provides an opportunity for us to come together as Rotarians. And I know I mentioned we've got the funds that are set up. We've had some of our clubs within our district contribute to that as well. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put my phone here for a second where I can look at a few notes while we kind of go through this real quick. But the Rotary District 6200 Foundation is one of the accounts that was established for the disaster relief program to assist individuals and communities that have been impacted by disasters such as Ida. Of course, as everyone is aware, there's a 501c3 fund, so it's tax deductible. Clubs can send their contributions to that, or if you'd like to do that, or if you're a business or an individual would like to contribute to that, I think we all are pretty familiar with that. We have, as I mentioned, our district governor, Mike, has been in close contact with District Governor Mark Lee here in Louisiana and some of the other governors as well. You know, we're all together committed to spreading the word to the Rotarians in throughout our district back in Athens and 5830 about the devastation. And hopefully this video and this broadcast today will help make that possible. You know, we've sent out emails out across the district encouraging clubs and individuals to give. As I mentioned, we have, as a district, 5830 has not received any funds directly. Rotarians are encouraged to work with the established methods already set up to accept donations and so forth. I know that it was noted that Cedar Creek Rotary Club come together and they've donated $1,700 for that fund. Texarkana in our district has also come. Texarkana International Rotary has come together with a contribution as well. So I think if all of us come together, we can help. But, you know, our motto, service above self, is not just about making a monetary contribution. If anyone's available, like I said, we're in the process of setting up camp here. And, you know, if you can hand out a sack lunch, or if you can drag a rake or pick up debris, really any assistance is going to be needed. And yeah, I was talking with, I think it was Bill earlier, that mentioned this is going to be a long exercise. This isn't, we're not talking about a few weeks. We're talking about well into a year plus. And so this is going to take some time to recover from. So let's just hopefully we can keep that momentum, at least in terms of support coming for everyone in Grand Isle and the surrounding areas that have been, you know, greatly impacted by the hurricane. But anyway, is there any other interesting points that you guys would like to talk about? Maybe personal challenges that you've had, a loss of property, about maybe your other club members, anything you want to share?
Well, the only challenge we're having now is dealing with insurance companies. I mean, we all have insurance claims, and right now that is what's holding up the main thing on the island, is just navigating this insurance process.
Right.
And I know there's nothing Rotary can do about it, but that's one of our struggles we're having now. Both she and I,
Yeah.
and we're having struggles with that.
My house was devastated. They will probably have to tear it down because it's not livable. And I lost half the roof. But being from Grand Isle, you know, you get kind of used to that.
Mm.
So, but my house has been devastated. And like my brother said, I'm dealing with insurance. I'm fighting with insurance in order to get paid, in order to move on. I'm not moving off the island, but I'll have to have someplace else to live.
Sure. It's like many people that are on the island.
Displaced, a lot of displaced people.
Yes, and I've been helping Paul
With our mom's house. Our mom's 83 years old, and her house got a lot of damage also. And it's the same thing with her. We're navigating, trying to deal with her insurance company. And here we were telling her, you know, this is an 83-year-old woman that just wants to come back home. The only home she's ever known.
Absolutely.
She just wants to come back home to, you know, something normal to her. And the insurance adjuster is just, they're just not agreeing to.
and also it's only, I'm helping him with both of the houses. So we do need help tearing, you know, gutting houses.
Mm-hmm.
That would be big,
a lot
help
of
too.
coming weeks, people will need stuff help. Just cleaning that property, removing debris, because the debris, like on my house, remember, I lost 16 houses in my neighborhood that are totally gone. So the debris is just scattered throughout.
Right.
So that's going to be something that maybe we get some groups come in, maybe some Rotary groups come in, just to help haul debris to the street.
I was talking to some energy people yesterday, and they were telling me that there's a good possibility we won't have energy on Grand Isle permanently until December, maybe for Christmas. But then, you know, being optimistic, it may come sooner. But that's what they're telling me right now, because there's so much damage up the road. This end of the island was damaged, but not to the extent
It's the west
as the west end.
Right.
The west end caught out.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I mean, it's just horrible down here. We just need extra help. That's all.
Sure.
Because everybody is in the same boat, and I think it's sinking quickly.
And then you're living out of town. So we're living out of town. So we're having to commute. back and forth every day, you know?
Yeah, all of our members are residents, but only one member is still living on the island, and that's
And here's
Carol.
Carol.
And
The
that's
rest of
Mr.
us are
Carroll.
all living off site.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carol stayed for the storm.
And so, Carol, you actually were president of the club here for a number of years,
I
right?
number of years, probably 10, maybe even 15. I don't remember. Because at that time, that period of time, no one else wanted the responsibility.
Mhm.
So every time, and I know you're supposed to have the change of leadership ever so often, but nobody else wanted the responsibility. So I just keep taking it. You know, and it was,
When I came along.
Yeah.
and Paul came along, saved my butt.
Well,
That's why I just say I'm a member now, because I remember how it was. It's work. It really is. To be president, to do the functions and everything else that goes with being president, leading the club. And like Paul said, we have all kinds of functions like you just mentioned right here, but we do other things such as paint the tombs on All Saints Day in the old cemetery. We usually, to raise money, we usually have like a barbecue chicken or a barbecue pulled pork or something like that every third or fourth weekend or something.
Right.
Weighs a few $100 for the club,
sure.
you know, so it helps pay dues, it helps pay for utilities for over here,
Right.
you know.
Right. Oh, that's a wonderful story. And I can tell you, folks here are very passionate about their community and about their club and what they're doing and able to help. And I can tell that they've helped many people in the past. Now it's just our time and our opportunity as fellow Rotarians to come together to help you, whether it's across districts or individual Rotary clubs. But anyway, so that's pretty much the state of the situation here, at least in Grand Isle, Louisiana, with the Rotary Club. I can go up and down the island and you can just see the devastation. Of course, I'm sure you see that on the news as well, but I'll be happy to report more as things develop.